Hello. I just thought I'd do another little update. Feeling a bit better today, a little bit more productive. You know, I've got a system going. I know I keep looking over there. It's because I'm looking at my keyboard in my ridiculous chair, which I love. Oh God, where have you gone? Oh, hi. Yeah, and just until I get a piano stool. It's one of the ways that I'm trying to make myself keep on playing, as it were. And even if I'm just playing nonsense, at least I'm playing something. And I'm still working on the song. Been speaking to... I don't know if I'm allowed to say. But basically, I'm trying to get my experience and my story out there. And I'm also, and this is really important, if I can get in camera still. Hi. Alright, so I know I haven't disclosed my my diagnosis, and it's not one that's taken very seriously, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So, alongside complex PTSD, panic attack / panic disorder at one point, a few years ago I was properly, correctly, apparently, diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And there is a lot of stigma attached to the phrase personality disorder. People think that you may be in mid-conversation with them and then your head starts spinning around and you're speaking in tongues and spewing out green shit and stuff. And it's not. It's an awful, hideous thing to live with. There's no medication for it. And fucking do I wish that bipolar diagnosis had been correct, because at least then there'd be some choices, you know, some hope or whatever. I don't know. But unfortunately it's just therapy, which at the moment is getting on my fucking nerves. But anyway, what I'm doing now, alongside my mum, who is pretty much my carer, we're trying to get our story further afield. So we've gone to journalists and we're looking at certain I have to be really careful, as if I've got millions of people watching. Certain television shows and certain magazines and newspapers and that kind of thing. I'm aware that I'm not looking at the camera very much. You know, when you're sort of watching yourself and not the camera, and that's the wrong way around. And that's coming from a supposedly film and television screen trained actor. But yeah, basically we're trying to get awareness, acknowledgement. Both of us, you know, my mum on her part and everything that she does and has done, and my sort of I don't know, whatever I am. So we're trying to get that out there at the moment. I want it. It needs to be out there. Personality disorders are awful, hideous, disgusting things to live with. And like I say, there's no medication. That noise you can hear is Messi deciding to use her litter tray just to piss me off. Or to have a piss, but I don't know. Anyway, so, oh, I knocked something off. There's such a real, palpable stigma. It's that word, it's taboo. It is personality disorders. Talking about personality disorders in any capacity, it seems to be the final taboo subject in terms of mental health / illness. It depends which way you want to look at it, really. I think I've said that before. But people don't understand them. And to be honest, I think a lot of the time, those of us with personality disorders don't understand them or accept them. And I need to let people know that actually we're not dangerous for the most part. We're not, you know, I mean, I can't speak for every single individual on the planet with a personality disorder. I'm sure some of them out there might, you know, have various other tendencies. I don't know. But, even I don't know. It's something that I'm scared to look into because I know how much my brain hates me. And it's like when you get a medication and there's this huge list of side effects. And for me, I avoid looking at that because I know that my brain will somatize that and I'll end up with psychosomatic side effects that aren't actually really happening. They're happening just in here. And it's a similar thing, really, I think, with personality disorders. I was given literature and I have researched it. But what I don't want is to over-research it, which is what I tend to do with most things, but usually more kind of scientific, actual, physical things. This is something that sometimes I feel most times I feel I've got absolutely no control over. Yeah, that's fine. And so we're going to the press because this needs to be understood. That personality disorders, especially personality disorders alongside complex PTSD, that is a combination that is hellish. Forget hellish without the ish. That's what it is. That's what I live with. That's what a lot of people live with. But people need to understand that it's not a choice, and it's not, and this is the worst bit, it's not something that can be medically treated. It's not biochemistry that can be adjusted with medication. It's so much deeper than that, and there is no treatment. There's certainly no medical treatment. There's medical assistance, antidepressants. I mean, I'm on so many medications I don't even know, but there isn't one for what I am actually dealing with day to day. Beta blockers to attempt to prevent panic attacks, although recently they haven't been quite as effective. Antidepressants, sedatives, more antidepressants. Put it this way, I've got morning pills and then nighttime pills and in between pills. And I think they probably do help a little bit, but realistically, looking at the big picture, it's a lot more terrifying and what makes it more terrifying is that nobody talks about it. You know, it's the elephant in the room, it's the ghost in the corner, it's what lurks under the bed. It's that thing that is always watching you and is always there, but nobody wants to admit it. But people need to admit it because it gets to a point where it's not livable. It's not compatible with life. And if by doing what I'm doing, these videos, vlogs, if that's making any impact on anybody, that's important. Sorry, cat. And so that's why we are trying to go as public as possible, because it's not just the person with the disorder who suffers, it's also the people who desperately want to help and they can't, and that helplessness, that feeling of helplessness is, I imagine, as hellish as well in its own way, and having to witness it, especially, you know, from a parent's perspective, thinking about my mum and everything that she witnesses and that she knows has gone on, or doesn't know, whichever. I know that that's kind of a nightmare situation for her, and I am going to do everything in my power to get this out there. And like I said yesterday, if you can help, if you can spread the word, if you can do anything, because, you know, they say the best things come in small packages. So one small package of sharing the link or telling somebody or philosophizing about the condition or whatever. Each drop in that ocean, it still rises a little bit, and that's what this is for. We don't want a tsunami. We just want acknowledgement. And that these medically untreatable conditions are just as real as any physical condition. Whether it's diabetes, whether it's cancer, whether it's anything. It's just as real. It's just that you can't see it. And we're all jovial and, hi, how are you? Oh, God, life is amazing. It's not. So, yeah, I guess that's that for today. Yeah, that's definitely it for today. It feels like it's actually dark. It feels like it's been a really long day. I know it hasn't, it's only about 4 o'clock, but it's pretty much pitch black, which is exactly how I like it. So, yes, I shall speak to you soon. Still working on the music. Song is still on its way. It's just needs to write itself, or write the rest of it. I don't write them, they sort of write themselves, really. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling now because I'm going on again. Shocking. Oh God, that was not a nice lip. Okay, I'm gonna go now. I will, or you'll see me soon. What's that one? Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen.